Okay, I think we are live and we're about to talk about hormones, oils, menopause, all of the things that everyone has been asking me about. And I honestly had no idea. And so I was just like, okay, well, I'll see if I can find someone to do a training on that. And believe it or not, found no one because it's an intimidating topic it's an intimidating topic to be talking about. For someone who is 26 years old, has no idea what it's like to go through menopause, but see people go through it. So we're going to talk about it. I've done a ton of research in the last 36, 48 hours, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to learn about it, and I feel really excited by what this is going to be. So here we go. Let me share my screen because I have a presentation that's going to keep us all on track, okay? So boom, here we go. All right, so the first thing that I want to mention about this whole thing is that menopause should not be horrible. And the fact that it's horrible in the United States tells us really big things. The fact that when they've done studies comparing other countries, other continents to the United States of America, they're flabbergasted by the differences in situations when women are going through menopause. Women in America have horrible, horrible, horrible symptoms, and in other places they don't. And so you have to wonder, why is that? Some studies attribute that to other cultures valuing women as they age more, valuing their wisdom, valuing what they have to bring to the world, and America not, and valuing young and vivacious. I personally think it has way more to do with lifestyle choices. And so we're going to talk about that. Okay, so what we were tempted to do, what I was tempted to do in this is say, okay, let's look at the symptoms: hot flashes, sleep problems, stress, tiredness. Let's look at the symptoms of menopause and just go right there, right? I could tell you for your hot flashes, you could do a drop of Progestis Plus under your tongue. You could do a swipe of peppermint on the back of your neck. It's going to be naturally cooling. Boom, hot flashes done. Sleep problems, I could tell you, roll tranquil on your feet and on your wrists, and boom, done. For your stress, breathe in stress away. Boom, done. Tiredness, make sure you get energy oil, but boom, done. But instead of doing that, I couldn't because the symptoms are not what we're trying to treat. Now, would those oils help with symptoms? Absolutely. People fall in love with oils every single day because of symptoms being met, but I don't want to stop there. I want to live life fullest, and I don't feel like treating symptoms is what we're all trying to do. So know in the back of your mind, there are oils for symptoms, and yes, there's an oil for that. But what we really want to look at is what's actually happening in the body. So what's actually happening when a woman goes through menopause? Her body around the ages of 45 to 55 says, we don't have any more eggs to get fertilized, so let's stop our ovaries from producing those hormones. We're not going to get pregnant, so it's over, so stop producing the hormones. What people think in America is that the body stops making hormones, but that's not true. The body still needs hormones for everyday function, for like natural energy levels, for any sort of libido, any sort of like, literally, we require hormones. We are human beings who require hormones. So when the ovaries stop producing hormones, the body asks for more hormones. And instead of it coming from the ovaries, the adrenals are designed to create the hormones that's needed. The reason that adrenals don't do that before is because they don't have the capacity to be able to sustain a pregnancy. So in early days, like fertility years, women require more hormones because to maintain a pregnancy requires a lot of hormones. But when that's over, really the adrenals should be able to do the job just fine. So what happens when the hormones bottom out from the ovaries and we're relying on the adrenals to take over, but we're experiencing adrenal fatigue, meaning the adrenals are already worn down, they're sluggish, unexplained tiredness, trouble getting to sleep and waking up, craving salt and sugar, unexplained weight loss or weight gain due to stress, reliance on stimulants such as caffeine or even non-specific digestive problems. These are all signs of adrenal fatigue. And so what happens when your body isn't getting the needed hormones? Well, this would be like really, really low estrogen. So there's nothing in the body that's actually creating the estrogen. Let's say that the adrenals aren't taking over and creating the estrogen needed or the progesterone needed. You can read the list here. I'm not going to read it out loud, but you can read the list here and notice that they're very, very similar symptoms to what a lot of women are dealing with in their menopause time. So what this is telling me is this list right here that we are all seeing as normal, in my opinion, is just telling us, hey, the adrenals aren't keeping up. They're not producing hormones that are needed. And so with that, also compounded by the fact that we live in a world that is estrogen dominant. And I put this little guy here because this is what it feels like when you're estrogen dominant. You have mood swings. And when I say estrogen dominant, what I mean by that is your body is not balanced in progesterone and estrogen super high. And the way that we become estrogen dominant typically is by the products that we're using that are filled with toxic chemicals that our bodies absorb as estrogen, making us high on estrogen, low on progesterone. So estrogen dominance compounded by the fact that our bodies aren't making enough hormones from our adrenals being sluggish because our ovaries are retiring, that leaves us in a pickle, a really big pickle. So let's look at what's supposed to happen. It doesn't matter if you are young, fertile, or if you are aging and going into menopause, and not aging, but middle aging, going into menopause. This is natural hormone function flow, okay? So it all starts with cholesterol, and from cholesterol is built pregnenolone. And that is a precursor to both DHEA and progesterone. This is very, very, very important, okay? Progesterone is a precursor to aldosterone, which I don't exactly know what that is. I haven't studied that one. And cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So let me clue you in on this crazy, crazy thing. I actually did a post about this today because of this. Cortisol, the stress hormone, when it's overactive and it's being used way too much, it needs something to dilute it and get it out. And that is pregnenolone. And so when it needs it, it literally is a scientific term called pregnenolone steal. The cortisol will go steal the pregnenolone, leaving our body unable to create progesterone, okay? And so precursor to DHEA is pregnenolone. And then, of course, you can see kind of the flow of testosterone and estradiol, which is a type of estrogen. So the reason I'm saying this is if your body is not supported and your adrenals aren't able to keep up and they're not effectively creating pregnenolone, you're not going to get DHEA and you're definitely not going to get progesterone. So how can we support the body's natural function to have this hormonal flow be so perfect and easy that our bodies don't really notice a huge difference other than, not having a period anymore, not these horrible, horrible, awful, awful mood swings and irritability and hot flashes and all this stuff. And can we do it without doing hormone replacement and completely bypassing the adrenals, completely ignoring the fact that there's a problem? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I put little supplements and oils in here, and there's actually, okay, so if we're relying on our adrenals to produce hormones, which if you are in menopause, you need to be supporting your adrenal glands. And the best way to do that is by taking or rubbing on topically your adrenals and here, Endoflex. It's a blend of oils that are specifically designed to help support the adrenals. Now, beyond that, there are two things that Young Living has that are both for pregnenolone and DHEA, okay? This one right here, Prenolone Plus, this has both pregnenolone and DHEA in it, and it's a cream, and you put it on yourself like this, on like fatty areas. So you would typically probably want to do it on your stomach or inner thighs. PD 80/20 is 80% pregnenolone and 20% DHEA. That's all it is. It's an amazing supplement. So those two things alone, if your adrenal glands are supported, can really, really help take your body's natural production of these hormones to another level, okay? Now, on to that, next is progesterone, and Young Living has a little serum. It's called Progessence Plus. It is micronized progesterone from wild yam, one of the only bioidentical sources of progesterone that I have ever read about or known. It's amazing. You'll want to have this. You can apply this 2 drops to your wrists or your ankles, or I actually do it in a different way. And if you need to know, you can message me. If you have a lifestyle that is high stress, which is cortisol, you may need to help support your body in limiting the amount of cortisol that is releasing so that it does not go back and do what we talked about, which is the pregnenolone steal. So if you are that way, then you can take the Cortistop. It's a supplement. Just read the bottle for directions on that. Okay, so let's talk about your order. Your Essential Rewards order. As a Young Living member, you have access to Essential Rewards, which is a customizable monthly program that allows you to order what you want when you want. The benefits of the program are they give you points back, cheaper shipping. You end up getting free products depending on how much you order. So it's really important that you don't just go into your virtual office, log into youngliving.com, log in with your member number and password that you picked at the time of enrollment, and click quick order. You don't want to click quick order unless you just want it once. If you want to get the benefits of ordering on a lifestyle basis, which is every month, a minimum of 50 PV, $50, you'll want to make sure that you're ordering it on Essential Rewards. So EndoFlex, we talked about supporting the adrenals. If you are going through menopause and your ovaries are stopped producing all these hormones and you're trusting your adrenals to pick up the slack and your adrenals are not, if your adrenals are sluggish, you need to be supporting your body's adrenals with EndoFlex. Next, you need to be supporting your body's natural ability to create pregnenolone and DHEA, and both Prenolone Plus and PD 80/20 will do that for you. Clary Sage can help regulate the body's natural estrogen levels. So if you're too high, it can help get the bad out, the fake estrogen that we're exposed to all around in toxic chemicals. Or if you're too low, which I highly doubt you are, you can use this as a way to supplement for natural function of your estrogen. Idaho Blue Spruce has been known to support healthy testosterone levels in people who need it. So that's another idea. If you're low in testosterone, you can use Idaho Blue Spruce to help you with that. And then Progessence Plus, which is progesterone, which comes right after the pregnenolone. You can use Progessence Plus to support natural progesterone levels. And then last but not least, Cortistop, which is designed to help your body completely eliminate unneeded stress. So there's your order. Take a screenshot. You'll know what to order when you go on your virtual office, youngliving.com, sign in with your member number and password. If you don't know that, I can help you. Okay, last but not least, I recognize there's a huge need for this. We're going to have a menopause support group chat for anyone who wants to share ideas when things are working for them. I can put you in there and you can share with other women who are going through that. I will post a link in the comments so you can just click and join the chat yourself. And if you have any problems, feel free to message me on that. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has been incredibly helpful, fast, quick, efficient, and a good like overall view of how we can naturally support our hormones. Okay,